Teachers, counselors, I hope you guys are ready to start back this school year, and I want to help give you the tools needed. My name is Katie Walker with Grow and Guide Kids, and if you've seen my video before, I provide a brain builder series on understanding children's brains and how to talk to them, how to understand what they're going through, especially reach the trauma kids in your class. I have to tell you that I have mad respect for teachers, and I think you guys literally change the world, and I'm glad to have a small part in helping you help your class. To me, you guys are on the front lines where it's at. So I know what you're thinking. You're probably thinking what I would be thinking if I was a teacher, and that would be in straight panic mode about to go back to school. And like I said in my parent video, it doesn't matter which way a parent goes, you're losing. If a parent chooses to send the kids to school, they're losing because people are judging them. If a parent keeps them home, if a parent does virtual school, whatever that may be. And here you guys are in this tough position of having to go, assuming where you are and where you live. I know the teachers in my area are going to be having to go at this point because school is not closed and facing this trauma. So the thing about this pandemic is it's extremely rare. It is something we've obviously never been through in our lifetime. But the thing about it is when you're in a trauma, you feel stuck. We go into our fight, flight, or freeze brain. And as a trauma therapist, what I tend to do with clients is help them move from that. Move from the fight, move from the flight, or move from the freeze. I have to edit that. Of course they bark. Okay. As a trauma therapist, what I highly advise my people to do is to move from the fight, to move from the flight, and to move from the freeze. However, this is such a strange circumstance because we can't move from the freeze. We are literally stuck in certain areas, such as wherever you live and what your state has done. Maybe you've had a shutdown, maybe a lockdown, schools closed down, whatever that means. We are physically stuck. And then you guys, teachers, have another layer of that. Then you're stuck in a profession that is asking you to face the trauma head on. You are looking at the trauma, you are looking at all the pandemic, all the chaos, and then you guys are supposed to step up, hold children's worries, hold teachers' worries, and go to work, manage your own stress and anxiety, and then manage little people's stress and anxiety and their parents and the other staff. It's a lot, and you guys are dealing with a lot. And so today I want to help you bring calmness into your own life and into your classroom. So first of all, the biggest thing in your classroom is to make sure you have open dialogue with your children in your class. And let me say this, you are not expected to be brave during this, as in the way of you are not expected to be perfect. Maybe that's a better way to put that. You do not have to hold all the answers. So today, something I want to teach you is that you don't have to ignore current events in your class, because actually downplaying and ignoring current events in front of the kids in your class can actually close down lines of communication with them due to them feeling embarrassed to ask questions or to tell you they're worried, since your attitude reflects that it's not important. So when we compartmentalize information in our classroom to protect children, we inadvertently isolate them from feeling confident and competent about their role in our classroom. And so what I want to challenge you to do is, you guys are stuck in this hard place of what am I supposed to tell them versus what families are telling them and all that. Communicate open, honest facts. Remove feelings and communicate facts. Facts are not the same as feelings. And so we can communicate facts that are not fear-based. And so please speak up. Use this as a history lesson, something like that. So first of all, let's create open dialogue in our classroom. And the way we do that is to validate all emotions. Children experience all types of emotions. And I really want to hit on this during this part is children might be angry. They might be sad. They might seem fine. They might be worried. They might be all sorts of different emotions. And no emotion can let you know that, like, do not weigh one emotion over the other. For instance, I have learned in quarantine that I'm actually hyper productive and that I go into overdrive as a way to cope, and I do way more work than I ever have before. So some might look at me on the outside and think, wow, Katie, you have it all together. You're thriving in this. When actually I'm just trying to bury myself in so much work that I don't have to deal with the issue of coming face to face with how I really feel. So if you have a child in your class that is cranking out the work that you think is excelling, please don't just assume they're okay. There is no correlation between productivity and not struggling. So please don't write those kids off. I know it's very easy being in the classroom. Prior to being in private practice, I was school-based therapist for 6 years. It is very easy, since you have so many kids in your class, to say, oh, they're doing good. Thank goodness I don't have to worry about them. So I know that's a lot for me to tell you to look at your best student and say, worry about them, because they're the one you always thought you didn't have to. But what I just want to make sure you understand is how they do their work, how they might excel, they might be overachievers, doesn't mean that they aren't struggling and have internal chaos. So watch for that. In addition to validating, normalize those emotions. Share how you feel. You don't have to tell them all your details. You don't have to tell them all the things. However, I do want you to tell them that it's okay and that maybe you're anxious, maybe you're angry. Your job is different. My dogs. This is so frustrating. I'm sorry. Your job is different. Things are different. You can share that you're angry in an appropriate way. You can share that you're nervous. You can share these things with them. And third, when your child or when a kid in your class is talking to you, don't interrupt. Don't talk over them, take over, downplay. Instead, use this time in your classroom as emotional coaching. And you're like, Katie, emotional coaching, I can't even coach myself. That's how I feel too. However, this is a great time to come side by side with your class and learn coping skills together. That is my favorite thing about the Choose Love movement, is they are giving free material to help EQs, raise EQs in your classroom. And studies show that raising EQs helps raise IQs. And so what a better time in the middle of a pandemic to work on you alongside your class, to bring them in, to do yoga together, to do deep breathing together, to count, to learn healthy coping skills together, to grow healthy. Hold on. What a better time to come together as a safe teacher in a safe classroom and in a safe environment to learn these healthy coping skills that they will know and understand the rest of their life. And chances are, I hope, that we'll never be faced with another pandemic. However, you're setting them up for success when you're coming alongside of them and teaching them to cope with these healthy ways. I wish you guys the best for this upcoming school year. I highly encourage you to watch the Brain Builder videos. I also have some books out, one on anger called Alice in the Anger Sandwich and one on anxiety called David and the Dandelion Thoughts. I'm creating curriculum for these and lesson plans so you can incorporate them in your classroom to keep raising those EQ scores. Once again, I think the world of you guys and I appreciate all you do. Good luck out there.